with Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, John DiMaggio, who is Bender from Futurama, WWE Hall of Fame wrestler Sting, and Sunday only Grant Gustin from The Flash and Glee, plus more guests to be announced. 3 days of action-packed fun is in the heart of Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Tickets start at $40. Kids tickets are just $8 for the entire weekend. VIP tickets also available, including a 3-day weekend pass, plus some really cool VIP perks. Buy your tickets and get more information at TwinCitiesCon.com. Greg Bakun here. Like many of you, I still collect physical books, and not just any books, but books about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. I go to Megas Books and Herbs, located in the Arts District of Minneapolis, but books are only part of it. Megas Books and Herbs offers crystals, jewelry, herbs, oils, and consultations on how to use this stuff. Check out their in-store classes and events too. This place has everything to expand your horizons. Located at 1848 Central Avenue, Minneapolis, or visit megasbooks.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Patchy fog and frosty conditions overnight with a low of 34, then Wednesday sunshine with a high of 60. The music is still the hottest at Crooner's Supper Club in Fridley. Crooner's is located just north of I-694 off Highway 65 and Moore Lake Drive. View their upcoming music schedules and food menus at croonersloungemn.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for joining me on this Tuesday evening. And I wanted to thank everybody who tuned in last night as we had on Philip Shorey. And Philip is part of the, not part of it, he runs it, Curse of the Vampire Orchestra. And we had this great conversation last night that regards around Nosferatu, which is being played at the Women's Club Theater October 25th. And although tickets are pretty much non-existent for this, we are giving away a set of tickets on Friday during Casual Friday. Folks, check out, if you haven't checked this out, check out the episode. You can go over to Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. You can even go over to am950radio.com. You can find the episode. I tell you, that's going to be a fun event. And why I bring it up that way is because, when it comes time for Halloween, I think it's really, exciting, all the unique ways to celebrate Halloween. It's not just about trick-or-treating. It's not just about ghosts and stuff. It's to be able to creatively express yourself. And that's what Philip did. And that's, I'm a big fan of silent films. And so having like a new orchestral score that he created for Nosferatu, the 1922 version, it's going to be played live at this venue. I think it's fascinating. I think it's fun. I can't wait for it. And once again, we're giving away tickets for it on Friday during Casual Friday. So definitely keep that in mind. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to give the tickets away, but keep your ears open because we're going to do a set on Friday, and I think it's just going to be a great time. I'm just really excited about it. I love how that stuff works when you get something creative like that and something unique. So with that being said, tonight I just kind of wanted to take some time and talk about an experience that I shared with Char Savoie, who you may recognize from such other radio shows as this one, as it happens. And one of the things that we do, and it's, we're going to blame Denise and Ernie Pack for this, is that whenever possible, whether it's the two of us together or with other friends or whatever else, we'll go and do some what we call squatching, right? So squatching being we're looking for Bigfoot. And as we've spoke ad nauseum on this program, that we have a very unique way. I think it's unique compared to what a lot of Bigfoot enthusiasts will say. We believe that it's interdimensional, and so we don't think that you have to be in vast woods to be able to call upon such a forest person to come and talk with us and join in and experience life. So whenever possible, we're going to go and we're going to see if we can go into some woods and see if we can find and get some kind of contact. Okay. So we're not going to say where the woods are on this, just because for the purpose of the radio show, it's not important. But there's an area that Char had been to before, and that we wanted to check out and see. And Saturday night was a very perfect night for a lot of things. It wasn't a full moon, but it was a very good night for all sorts of, just it was clear, it was cool. So we didn't have to worry about, like, obviously, like mosquitoes or ticks or anything, stupid and gross like that. We just, had this, pretty much a perfectly clear night with an opportunity to make some contact, if at all possible. So we went along and we went out. I think it was after 10 that we went out there, and we did our drive out there and whatnot. And one of the things that we do always recommend for people is that if you are going out and trying this sort of thing, whether it's spirit, whether it's Bigfoot, whether it's alien, whatever you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself. And protection is, comes in a form of whatever works for you. What we tend to do, or at least what I tend to do, and I do want to kind of make a point about that too. I'm telling tonight's story from my point of view. So how I felt, what I experienced, what the moments I was scared, those are my moments. Char, for all I know, didn't have any scary moments. She maybe just was cool with everything. I guess what I'm getting at is, please don't just think that I'm speaking on both of our behalfs. This is just my experience, and I think at some point we'll get Char on to share her side of it. I just really wanted to just kind of do my own thing tonight and just talk about it, because sometimes I just like to kind of hog the show for myself. So that's kind of what I'm doing tonight. Before I move any further, Tracy, great movie on the 1922 version. It's original. If you hadn't listened to it, we talk about how that movie nearly was wiped out completely. Luckily, some versions were found. So getting back to Saturday night, and we went out to this location, and we go into an area that is very wooded, much more so than I would have expected it to be. I don't know why, but I just did. We did our protection. We did what we needed to do for our own, however we handle it. I like to do the bubble of light. I like to ask spirit guides to come through and protect. And we start walking through. Now, once again, it's nighttime. There we go. And it's dark, but obviously there's a lot of like lit areas because of nightfall, of the moon and everything else. And that is something that is, it's reassuring, to be honest, when you're walking through these woods and stuff. And at the same time, it's kind of difficult, because it plays tricks on you when you're walking around and walking through. It plays tricks on you, and you want to be careful, because we're always on the lookout. And one of the things that Char said to me as we're walking in, she goes, just know that there's other animals in here. And I'm just like, what other animals? And she's like, there's coyotes. And that's scary. I'm not gonna lie. That's not what I wanted to hear. I suppose it's better than hearing grizzly bears, but it was I'm going to be honest, and we talked about it. It just kind of made me really on guard because I don't know what to do when it comes to coyotes, apart from run, I guess, which I don't think that's probably what you want to do either. And the thing with that too is it's really tough because we didn't really come prepared. I don't know why we decided not to. I mean, it's kind of maybe a last minute thing that we decided to do this. So we didn't have anything with us to protect ourselves, and when I say protect ourselves, I don't want to bring a gun anywhere. I don't own a gun. It's not really my thing personally. Others, it's, you do what you want to do. You do what you need to do. But, I'm thinking about, like, we thought about afterwards, like mace, something like that, something that, could give us a chance to get away as we go deeper and deeper into this wooded area. And that's something that becomes very noticeable to me, is that we're going deeper and deeper. We're going down paths. We're not using flashlights because we don't want to draw any attention to ourselves. I mean, obviously you don't have to be Einstein to know that there's people walking around if you just see us or whatever else. But at the same time, we didn't want to have the lights there and stuff as well. So we were walking through this forested area, but there are some paths, and once in a while we would stop. And what we would do is we might put some light on something, because there was one point that Char saw something move. Another point, I saw something leap. And this is before anything really happened. That just something leaped in the wooded area where there's a little bit of a clearing. I didn't really know what it was, and so we were, we would turn the lights on occasionally, and we would keep walking down this path. And she had been to this location before with other people, and so she would point out where, like, there's it's literally like a section of an area that is open, so to speak. I mean, I think the greenage, the greenery in that area still would probably be, up to my waist or taller than me. It's not exactly like, this, mowed lawn area or anything. So we would she stops and you're like, this is where the last time we were here had a it wasn't a growl, it was a noise that wasn't human, wasn't animal, and it actually sounded like, I think she said, sounded like 2 or 3 things happening at once. And it just came out of nowhere, as one of the times that they were there, that they had asked for the forest people to come out. And so she showed me, and she's like, this is where that came from last time. And based on how we were walking, I said, and you had to walk past it after you're done. And she's like, yeah. Lynette says, coyotes are not going to hurt you. You know what? I'm not going to just take your word for it. I'm just going to say, I think better safe than sorry. If I go in there with some kind of protection, I'm not going in there to kill anything. I'm only going to go in there if something comes my way that seems hostile. Then I will do something about it. But yeah, regardless, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to hurt or kill, but I'm trying to stay safe, if that makes any sense. So this area that I'm talking about, that Char's showing me, it's really weird because the way that the moon is over us, it's completely illuminating just that area. And the trees are just a little bit taller on the outskirts of that area. And so it's only the inside of that area that is illuminated. And she said that's where the Squatches were, that they believe that they were getting the howl from, which is like that's really interesting that it's that way. And as we're walking further, and just so you know, I mean, here's the thing, and I'd be interested to know what you all would think if you're in the situation, because it is difficult, where how much of what we're feeling, and once again, I'm only going to talk about myself, how much of what I'm feeling is in my mind versus what's happening out there. Because I'll be honest, the moment we walked into that wooded area in general, something didn't want us in there. You could feel it. It was palpable. It wasn't like, okay, let's just walk to where we need to go. Coyotes or not, in my mindset, coyotes or not, it's like like whatever. This is strange, and this doesn't feel right, and it feels very difficult, actually. Feels very oppressive, feels like there is something there that doesn't want you there. And so we're walking down, and so I mean, this has been the whole time. I mean, we just keep looking behind us the whole time because we feel like something's watching us. And I think it's fair if you're listening and being like, well, obviously you're in the dark woods, no flashlight, of course you're going to feel that way. That is fair. I think that is completely fair and a reasonable response. But I'm going to tell you some stuff in as the show goes on that makes us think differently about that. And one of the things too is that we don't know if there's people in here. I don't think there were, but I mean, that is always a concern as well. In fact, that's, a little bit more scary than the idea of animals, to be honest. You know what I mean? And that it's just something that's on my mind as well. There's only two of us, and I thought to myself, I think the optimal number is at least 3, not 2. I just felt, because here's the deal. Char is a very, she's a good person. I'm sure she's strong. I am not. I am made of spaghetti, and I was obviously just constantly thinking to myself, what do I have to do if something happens here, and I have to try, and try to be chivalrous and try to protect her and myself. I mean, whatever is there, whether it's like, a baby cub just picks me up and throws me, that's just kind of, I don't put a lot of credibility in me helping anyone, keeping someone safe. So that was something too. We get to a part where right out on the other side of where this is, where what I'm trying to say is where the forest people that Char said was there. We get to the other side of that, and the path just keeps going down, and it's just really pretty dark. And she said, if we go any further, that's where it becomes creepy. That's where it becomes creepy. It's been creepy the moment I got out of the car. What are you talking about? That this is when it starts. I can't handle this, and I can go to just about any place. And we look down the path, and there's a part of the path that gets dark and then it gets light, if that makes sense. So there's something that makes it dark, and then light is shining through. And on the other side of where it's dark, where we see the light keeps disappearing and coming back. Like, not like a light, but like the natural light that's going on the trail. And that is where we are seeing that we think something is moving down on the other end of the path that we are looking down. So why don't we go ahead and do this? Why don't we take our first break? Please stay with us. We have a lot to talk about here. It's a very interesting evening here, and we got more to talk about as far as it goes for this story, because this was a crazy night, and I think you're going to find it crazy too, because we haven't even talked about what we've seen yet. So stick around. We're going to talk more about it. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakun here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information.
Greg Bakun here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
Gritty Gear Company is a great place to go for clothing that is fun and expressive. But did you know we also do custom orders on demand? We've worked with all types of companies and organizations, from first responders to even a certain radio station. Our team is here to help you look amazing. Our clothing is of the highest quality, and you will love your logo on the finished product. We are a locally owned small business who simply wants you to look great. Find out more at grittygearcompany.com.
Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakun here. Like many of you, I still collect physical books, and not just any books, but books about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. I go to Megas Books and Herbs, located in the Arts District of Minneapolis, but books are only part of it. Megas Books and Herbs offers crystals, jewelry, herbs, oils, and consultations on how to use this stuff. Check out their in-store classes and events too. This place has everything to expand your horizons. Located at 1848 Central Avenue, Minneapolis, or visit megasbooks.com. Have you ever had it when you are like trying to do something that has a lot of steps to it, such as maybe put on a radio show, and you're thinking, boy, what have I forgotten to do? And I still have that, and I keep looking over everything. Like, am I on the air? I know I am, but it's just like there's something I must be forgetting to do. I don't know. It's funny. I love doing the show, and I love doing it. Actually, I really love doing it on my own, to be perfectly honest. But, when you're by yourself and you don't have that normal cadence because you have a guest or Adam's here or something, and you're like, okay, I think we have it all figured out. But I'm just like, I'm looking to make sure I'm dressed or something. I mean, I feel like I'm missing something here. So if, hopefully there's audio. I don't know. We'll see. No, I know there is. Welcome back to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. We're talking about a unique situation that happened to myself and Char Savoie Saturday when we went out squatching. And I like talking about this stuff because I also like to show people that I'm not just talking about on the radio, that I'm out there doing it. In fact, I did an interview for a podcast yesterday over, of all places, the Grand Garage, where we did our Halloween thing last year, but this time we went into the basement, and I went with people who have never had done an investigation before. And what we got through Spirit Box, what we got through K2 work and stuff like that, it was pretty incredible. So I'll talk more about the interview when it becomes live. It was a lot of fun. We went up to the studio that's also in the Grand Garage, and we chatted for hours about the paranormal. So that was pretty fun. Now, folks in the Twin Cities or wherever, if you have nothing going on Halloween, you should come down to the 300 Clifton Mansion, because it's going to be quite the Halloween over at the 300 Clifton. We are talking, they're doing trolley tours all night. They're doing psychic readings with psychic medium Elizabeth. And they're doing paranormal investigations with, I don't know, some pretty good people, I guess. Char Savoie, our friend Lisa, AJ, and myself. And we're going to be live. We're going to be doing a live broadcast from the 300 Clifton for 4 hours on Halloween. It's going to be a lot of fun. And within that, we're going to break away. We're going to see what's going on in the investigation on an area of the 300 Clifton that people normally don't get to unless you are part of the bed and breakfast. And during that as well, I will be breaking away and doing Myth or Mystery. First time that we're actually going to have that on AM 950, and we're really excited about that. And we have Ghost Inspector Greg, who you have seen on such programs as Ghost Adventures, and he is going to be live at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery trying to reach celebrities, spirit celebrities. And I need to note that Ghost Inspector Greg has permission to do so. So it's not like him just hanging out in the cemetery and doing something he's not supposed to. He has 100% permission to do that. Now, if you want to join us on the investigation, or you want to go on the trolley tour, or if you want to get some psychic readings, it's all laid out for you. Go to MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com. On the main page, it's going to have a link to get to the Halloween night. But once you get there, you have your choice of what you want to take part in. I'm also going to put it into the link into the comments for those who want to check it out. It's MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com. And if you want the whole link, it's MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com/Halloween. It's going to be a fun night. It's meant to be a fun night, kind of a carnival atmosphere. We're going to be doing our broadcast from there. And I think you're just going to, why not have a great Halloween at a beautiful mansion? And if you can't make it, check us out on the air 7 to 11 that night, Central Standard Time. Adam is going to be back at the station. We're going to see if we can replicate having equipment go off at the station when one of us asks for it on location. So much to do. It's a lot of fun. So please consider, we're going to be talking about this more as the weeks go by. I mean, we're not far from it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So check that out. Now, where did we leave off? We were, and I got some comments here. So why don't I get through the comments first? Lynette says, when she said the coyotes, you don't have to worry about the coyotes. And when I said, well, the humans I'm also worried about, and she goes, yes, that's what I mean. People are the ones I worry about just in daily life, right? I mean, just walking outside is like, yeah, no, thank you. Nicole, skunks and creepy people are the only reason I don't want to go into woods at night. Once again, I don't think you need to be in the woods to experience that. That's for sure. Damien says, thanks for sharing your experience. Remember a lot of detail that some would forget or miss out on. I would think that if you experience this, I think that you would remember a lot of it. I really do think so, because it's so interesting. Then Damien, thank you for quality checking me. He says, well, first of all, if I can get the right comment up here, he says, regarding the audio, all good, Greg, looking slick, sounding good. That's what I want to hear. So where we left off, we're in this area of the forest. I mean, I feel like we're deep, but she deep into the forest. And I think ultimately the idea was to go even further. And I think, and I'm going to be honest, I don't get scared very often, but I was not liking the situation, and I was getting a little scared. And I'm not afraid to say it, because these are definitely, it starts really getting weird. And this is like, once again, She's like, if we go further, it's where it gets creepy. But then we see that area that's kind of illuminated, and we start seeing stuff going back and forth. And I think it's whatever it is, too big to be an animal, like, just like a squirrel or a skunk or whatever else. I mean, I think first of all, that would have been more defined if we saw that. It would just be like there'd be light, and then there wouldn't be, and then it'd come back. And once again, to be very clear, when I say light, I mean the natural light coming onto the trail. There wasn't like any actual electrical light or anything like that. So we're there, and Char, I think Char was like, do you want to go walk any further down? And I'm like, I think I'm pretty good, quite frankly. And I think she was okay with it as well. So we're like, okay, should we try to reach out to one of our forest friends? And like, okay, let's do it. And Char's just like, you don't have to do it as loud as we would normally do it, because when we're doing it and we're like reaching out to, and this is a page out of Greg Yost's book. This isn't something that I created or anything, or Char created. We saw Greg Yost do this at a location in Indianapolis. And so we figured, if we're going to try to reach out to these forest people, this is how we're going to do it. It worked for him. It hopefully it would work for us. So what I'm saying here is not mine, okay, to be very clear about that. And so, it was just kind of like pretty much calling out to the forest people to come forward, and that we come with an open heart, that we come with no malice. We come also with no recording material or equipment at all, because it's not the purpose of this. The purpose is not to record and document. The purpose is to experience. So we're being very clear about it. Just being very open about our intention, and all the way down to the location. I was playing just something kind of soft on the radio, just something to kind of calm me, to kind of let go of the if I had any anger of any kind, or just if I had anything that was ill will in me, because you do want to go out there with an open heart. And so I was listening to medieval music, which I don't do, but I just like something about that was just like, this sounds kind of interesting. And I love, I do love medieval music. So, I don't listen to it, but it's one of those things that you can enjoy, even though you're not like, all about it. It's like, if I heard it, it's like, oh, that's interesting, let's keep it on. Well, I found something on Spotify, so I was listening to it. And so, just trying to be kind of chill, quite frankly. It's so we do that. Before I get into it, Damien says, I try pendulum with it being natural energy, see if it guides you. It's an interesting question. I guess where we were coming from is more calling them to us, and not like come here, but more like, can you let us know that you're here? Doesn't have to be, I think, and I don't know if Char would agree, I don't think it has to be like, let's go to it, but let's see if we can bring it in the general area to start with. Because as you're going to hear, they will come find you. And so I start, and it's very important to note, before I started, there was no noise in the forest whatsoever, okay? There wasn't any sort of like, cracking of sticks. There was no sounds of leaves moving or anything of that sort. It's also important to note that my voice was not loud at all. It was the same volume that it was every time Char and I would speak. It might have been a little bit louder, but it wasn't like what, say, Greg would do, Greg Yost, where he would just really, belt it out to the forest. We just didn't want to do that. So I put out our intention. And at that point, things start to kind of move all around us. Things start like the leaves are moving on either side of the path that we're on. I'm seeing shimmering, and the way that we're standing is that I am looking one way. Char is next to me looking the other. And where she looking is down in the area where we saw the natural light being put out by something dark. And I'm seeing stuff on my end, but it just like, is that eye shine? What is that? All of a sudden, this hand just grabs my arm very tightly. And I look down because it's Char that had done it. I look down. She's not looking at me. She's looking straight ahead. And I have just like, she's just like, turn around. And I didn't want to. How's that for a big time paranormal investigator? No, I'm good. No, I didn't do that though. I mean, I hope I didn't make it look that way either. But honestly, that was going through my mind. Like, I don't know if I want to know what Char is looking at, but I had to, obviously. And I turned around and I saw nothing. I saw that path still, but Char is just like, what I saw was something go across the path. It was huge. It was just like what we saw in West Point, Kentucky. And instead of like something that would take multiple steps to get across the path, that it took like 2 giant steps. And that was it. And I'm kind of like, oh boy, okay, all right. And I'm looking down there and I see eye shine. If I'm looking straight down where she's looking, it's off to the left. And I see eye shine, and I'm like, I see eye shine, and she can't see it. So I kind of like grab her and pull her over to like right in front of me, because because the other trees were hiding it. I don't know, Char, if you saw it. I don't think you saw it. I don't know. Let me know if you saw it or not, because I seem to recall that it wasn't really there at that point, but I don't know if you saw it or not. So Damien's like, so step gate about 5-6 foot, could be, I don't know. I mean, and I didn't see it, so I don't know, but I'm sure that it has to be something like that. So at that point, we're hearing more stuff, and we hear something put its foot down on a large branch and just cracks it. And I look at Char, and I said, I think I'm done. I mean, I literally was like, I think I'm done. And she was like, me too. And it was really something. And here's the thing about that, is that I say that we were done, and that we were going to head out and get back to the car and get out of there. But even though we were done, the forest wasn't done with us yet. And that's when it becomes scary. So why don't we go ahead and do this? Let's go ahead, take our next break. When we come back, I'm going to tell you about I think maybe one of the scariest things I may have ever seen, because I don't know what it is. I think I know what it is, but I'm not a fan. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Twin Cities Con returns to the Minneapolis Convention Center for the 4th year, November 8th through 10th. Twin Cities Con is a celebration of comics, toys, TV, film, art, cosplay, games, and all things nerdy. There is nothing like Twin Cities Con. It's also a family-friendly event where you can meet your favorite celebrities, browse the vendor hall and artist alley for the coolest merch, watch celebrity Q&As, and even more. Twin Cities Con is bigger and better than ever before. Come see from Star Wars the Emperor himself, Ian McDiarmid, along with Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, John DiMaggio, who is Bender from Futurama, WWE Hall of Fame wrestler Sting, and Sunday only Grant Gustin from The Flash and Glee, plus more guests to be announced. 3 days of action-packed fun is in the heart of Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Tickets start at $40. Kids tickets are just $8 for the entire weekend. VIP tickets also available, including a 3-day weekend pass, plus some really cool VIP perks. Buy your tickets and get more information at TwinCitiesCon.com.
Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
This is Chad, owner of AM950. Recently, I had a large order of custom-designed T-shirts that needed to be turned around in a hurry. I knew exactly who to call, Grady Gear Company. Grady Gear Company is a local company that handles large and small custom clothing and apparel orders. I had a lot of questions from color, shirt quality, and what sizes we needed. Grady Gear Company was great to work with. They got us what we needed on time, and now everybody's looking great around the station in their new gear. Start your order at GradyGearCo.com.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with MetamorphosisConnections.com. MetamorphosisConnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search MetamorphosisConnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on MetamorphosisConnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting MetamorphosisConnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's MetamorphosisConnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
And join me tomorrow on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun. We're going to have psychic medium, refined divine Deb is going to be on doing one-question readings. And, those are always a good night. We're bringing in Adam so that we can keep up with the vulgarity, the profanity. But, that's how it goes sometimes. It's always a lot of fun, though. We all have great chemistry doing those. So if you have a question that you want to have asked tomorrow, which not heavy questions. We're asking about money, jobs, love, that sort of thing. Join us tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun, as it always is. So looking forward to having Deb on the program. In fact, this weekend on October 20th, I am going to be in Winona at their fair, at the Holistic Healing and Metaphysical Fair. That is going to be in, like I said, in Winona. And that is from 11 to 5 p.m. And I am actually going to speak. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to be speaking about yet, but it's always a lot of fun. And come on out, see us if possible. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. If possible, I'm going to see if I can have some of my new GhostBox Radio t-shirts available for people. We are just finishing working up on those. We just want to make sure they're as good as possible. And we're really excited about that. Going back over to talking about the Holistic Healing Expo on the 20th. If you want more information, it's over at Signature's Restaurant. Go over to the Garden of Eden Medium. You can get more information there. And also, please like the page. Where we left off, we were talking about our experience in the woods regarding trying to reach out to Sasquatch. And so, all this stuff is, we're just seeing things. And I can understand if those listening might be like, well, your eyes are playing tricks on you, whatever else. It's a reasonable thing to say, to think. And I would not take any, I would not be insulted in any way if someone said that to me, because, you have to try to stay grounded, no pun intended. But you have to try to stay grounded throughout all of this. But I will say that I do not think everything we're talking about up to this point I do not think it's our eyes playing tricks on us. And we were saying that to each other during this investigation. Like, I don't know if my eyes playing tricks on it, but when she would see something, Char, that is, she would say, I see something, and I would describe what it was, or vice versa. So it's not necessarily, I don't think it's, eyes playing tricks on us. Now, going back to talking about if Char saw the eye shine when I saw it, she said she thought she saw it before you, but did not in the same place. I do think that that's definitely the case, that she saw eye shine somewhere else. I didn't see that one. Then I saw eye shine. I don't think she saw what I saw. But it was around. It was around. And then I thought I'd saw it in some other parts of the forest around that time, but I'm not 100% sure. So like I said, we heard some big branches like cracking, like something's stepping on him. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I need to go. It's just, and that's, although I'm going to be honest, I was scared. But also, I think this is where you have to take care of yourself and the people you're with. I think there's a responsibility. And I know it's like, oh, you're just trying to make yourself sound like that. It's okay to be scared. It is okay to be scared. It's also okay to know when you're not in the right place that you thought you were to do this, because it's like, this doesn't feel right. And we still have this long way to go to get back to the car. So we're walking back. And something is following us, okay? Something is going on the wood side. We can feel it. We can sense it. But there's also something else. There's something else that's with us. And it's not a Sasquatch. It's not an animal. But it's some kind of entity. And we're walking, and we're walking, and we're walking. Suddenly, Char just stops and turns around. I mean, we kept stopping to turn around, especially when we'd hear things, and like we'd just be like, something is following us. But at this point, she stops, and she turns around, and she's looking, and I turn around, and that's when we saw it. There is a tree. If you're looking down this path, there's a tree. And everything around it is kind of dark, but there is light, once again, moonlight, on this tree. And a shadow passes by it. We can see the shadow. It goes from left to right across the tree. And it's not a Sasquatch. It's humanoid, okay? It's humanoid. And the more I thought about it, and she's like, did you see that? And that's where I explained what I saw. And she's like, yes. We turn around, we're walking, and I keep replaying that shadow in my mind. And I'm sure Char is too. And all I thought to myself was, my God, it's what I saw was shoulders, a neck, and a head. But not only that, I saw shoulders, an elongated neck, and a oval-shaped head. Do you know what I'm getting at here? I think it's alien, to be perfectly honest. I think we saw, and this area is, afterwards, Char's telling me this is an area that has all sorts of things going on in it, she believes. And I don't doubt her for a second that there's a lot of different types of energy there. Perhaps it's some kind of, tunnel or system, if you will. But this was not, this was not a human. It was humanoid, but it was not human. And just that shadow that goes across, I will never forget that. And so we take off. I mean, we're not running. I mean, I don't run. Let's be serious. but we're going at a good pace. And in my mind, I'm thinking from left to right, where this thing is going is actually could possibly be going in a direction that actually would actually connect with us on the other end, like get in front of us. And I'm worried about that. And I said that to Char, and Char's like, I thought about that too, but it was actually following us. It was after us. And so it wasn't, because I just thought it's just going to be waiting for us just before we could get out of the woods. But she's just like, nope, it was following us. And it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible, and the feeling of it and whatnot. And so we handled it the way that we would handle any paranormal investigation. When we got to the edge of the woods, we both turned and looked and said, you are not allowed to follow us. And we get into my truck, and I'm just like, do you want to get a drink? And she's like, yeah. So we get into the truck, and we are driving. As we're driving, I think we both suddenly kind of realized, I think it's still with us, quite honestly. You could feel it. You could feel that it was still with us. And so we're driving, and we'd have to get over a bridge over water to get to where we wanted to go. And Char's like, I think once we go over the bridge, it's going to release. And excuse me, sure enough, as we go over the bridge, over the water, you could feel like it just drop away. And just an energy release just drops away from us. And it was absolutely incredible. You cannot say that, oh yeah, I think it's gone. You would know. It was just like drained away from us. And it was absolutely an incredible experience. Now, of course, me being macho like I am, when we're about 20 miles away from it, I'm like, I'd be up to doing that again, going back or whatever else. When I'm in there, of course, I'm like whimpering. But when we're driving away, it's like, I don't know what we're so scared about. I think the thing to kind of remember about this is that this is serious stuff. Okay. This is, and I know I speak to a lot of people who are do this stuff, investigate, or been interested in doing so. But the point is that this stuff is actually very serious, and that you have to take it very seriously. And, you have to know when to walk or run away. You also have to know how to protect yourself. You also have to keep your eye on the people that you are with when you're doing this stuff, to make sure that they're not changing on you. And I don't mean like, come under some sort of demonic attack or anything, but more of just like an oppression of some kind, making sure that they're safe as well. That is what it's about. As Char just says, it was incredible and really intense getting out of there. It was intense because it also didn't feel like that it felt like that that the path kept elongating before we got to the car. Like it just like we'd turn. I'm like, okay, I think we're just about there. From what I remember, it's like, oh no, we still have like 2 other turns to do on the path. So this is all important stuff that I just want to, just kind of remind folks of, especially if you're interested in doing this sort of thing, and no one's stopping you. But I mean, I would just really recommend that you do so with utmost caution, that you have people you trust with you, that you're all on the same page, that you have the right intentions. Because what we found is, I do not think that anything Squatch related, forest people related, meant us any harm. I think, I just was like, okay, this is getting a little real at the moment, and that was enough for me. The stuff, though, of whatever belonged to that shadow, whether it's alien, whether it's some sort of spiritual entity, whatever it was, and I'll tell you what it wasn't. It wasn't a human being. It wasn't like another human being that cast a shadow. It would be impossible based on where the shadow was, and we would have saw a person. it was something else. And that is that's how we spent Saturday night. And that was intense. And I don't want to speak for Char, but I will say that it has been on my mind continuously. And really what's been on my mind continuously is that shadow. There was nothing that could have made anything move to give the impression of that shadow walking, that just didn't walk. It floated across. And that was intense. That was intense and cool at the same time. I'm not going to lie. That is one of those things that I really, I'm glad I was able to experience, but at the same time, I don't think I'd like to know what that was. But I don't know if that means that we're not going to run into it again somewhere, somehow, some way. Those things have a way to be kind of get more into, something else. Char says, definitely keep thinking of it. It was different energy than anything else I have felt. It was. It truly was. That is definitely one of those strange nights. And I appreciate you all for taking the time and listening to our story. Let me know if you want to hear more of our experiences, because when we have them, I mean, I feel like that this is kind of what this show is for that. So please let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Tomorrow, we're going to have on Refined Divine. Friday, don't forget, we're giving away tickets for Nosferatu. Everyone, thank you again for listening to our experiences. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night.